Hello and welcome to another day of the Texavi Summer Tech Bootcamp. Today we're going to move on from scratch just for a little while and go into the MicroBit, which is another really exciting coding project for children. All right, okay. So the course today will cover what is the MicroBit, who created it, where is it used, why is it used, and also some fundamental code blocks that are very useful in programming the microbit. So what is the microbit? Before we go into more into detail about what it is, why it is used, and things like that, I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. So this is the actual microbit. As you can see, it has a panel of LEDs. It is a 5x5 grid, so 25 LEDs in total. Then we've got two buttons on the side here. You've got this A button and B button. And then on this side, if you flip it to the side, you've got a connection over here. It's a universal connection, and also this connection for the battery pack, which I'll come into in a little while. If you turn it around to the back, you've got a whole load of circuits. It's a whole PCB, so lots of different circuits going on, lots of capacitors. And then most important thing you need to know at the back is that this is the reset button. So when you've finished your code, or if you want to do something new, then you can just click this reset button, code will reset itself, and it will come back to just being a blank grid like this. Now, you've also got within the microbit pack that it also comes with a USB-A to universal cable. This is the most important thing you'll need because this will connect from the microbit like so into your laptop or computer or whatever device that you're using. This is a very important connection that you need. But you don't always have to keep it connected to your computer. Once you've finished your program, you can also just take it with you if you want to show your friends what you've created. It also comes with a very handy battery pack. You can put your own batteries in it. Yep, they're AAA batteries, so two AAA batteries, and then this will connect to the microbit through here, like so. And then you'll see this light flashing, and that means it's all portable and ready to take along with you wherever you go. Okay, so now that you've seen what the microbit is and what it looks like, we can now go into a little bit more depth. So yeah, back to screen sharing. Okay. So the microbit, as you saw, is a pocket-sized programmable computer. It is a computer shrunk into a very small size that can just fit into your pocket. It can be programmed using block-based coding. If you've seen the Scratch video, it is very similar to that. It's very similar. It's not the same platform as Scratch. It's called MakeCode. But it is the same principles of block-based coding. Or if you're a little bit more advanced and if you know how to use Python, you can also actually use Python to program the microbit. Maybe make a little bit more advanced programs using Python. But here on the left, you can see what the interface looks like. You got all the sections on the left side, which we'll come into, big space to drag over the code blocks, and then also really small on the right, you can also see what the microbit will look like. So as you're programming, you can see on the right, just on your screen there, what it will look like once you run the program so that you know exactly what you're doing. You can create interactive projects using the LED displays, buttons, and the sensors. So a lot of things are going on with the microbit there, which makes it so much more interactive and fun to use. Quick quiz. Question 1. What type of display does the microbit have? Is it LCD screen, a touch screen, a 5x5 LED matrix, or an OLED panel? And the correct answer is a 5x5 LED matrix, as you can see when I showed you the matrix up close. So now we're going to move on to who created the microbit. It was created by the BBC, actually, using the BBC Learning's Make It Digital campaign. It was created in March 2015. So while BBC designed the hardware, so the actual microbit itself, Microsoft was the company which created the MakeCode software that is used to program the microbit. So another quick quiz, what is the microbit mainly used for? Is it gaming, educational programming and electronics, streaming videos, or listening to music? If you answered educational programming and electronics, you are correct. Moving on to the third topic. Where is the microbit used? So similar to Scratch, it's used in schools, in coding tech clubs, and even at home, as long as you have the kit, which comes with the microbit and the cable, which is the main things you need, as well as the battery, you're all set. You can just code away and create some very interesting things. It can, but the kind of drawback with the microbit is that it can only be used with devices that have this USB-A port, which is actually becoming very uncommon nowadays, as most devices, only quite a few, only certain laptops have that port, which is why you can't use microbit with tablets and things like that, only really PCs and laptops. So which of the following is used to connect the microbit to other devices? Is it USB, HDMI, AirPlay, or the Ethernet? Correct answer is USB. Now we're going to move on to why is the microbit used? What is its function? So it was it's used to introduce coding concepts to children in a very fun and engaging way. I mean, who doesn't want to light up LEDs and make some interesting, very interactive games with it? It also helps with understanding how software and hardware interact, which is very important in lots of different applications later on in life. You can learn it with the microbit. You can see how what you code is being affected using the LED displays and sounds and sensors and buttons and all of the little gadgets that the microbit has. It also allows children to develop creativity and problem-solving skills in a very practical way. Another question. So what are the two buttons on the front of the microbit used for input labeled? You have to think a little bit far back to when I showed you up close, but hopefully you remember. Is it 1 and 2, left arrow, right arrow, A and B, or on and off? The correct answer is A and B. I can even show you. Hopefully you can see. Got A on this side. Second, I'll do that. So you've got A on this side and B on this side. When you code with the MakeCode, you can make it so that if the user presses B, something will be done, like a sound will be made or light up. And if the user presses A, something different will be done as well. Okay. Now moving on again. So now we're going to move on to the fundamental code blocks in MakeCode now. So again, if you know Scratch, it's very simple to follow MakeCode as well. It also has 9 code blocks, has basic, input, music, LED, radio, loops, logic, variables, and math. So they're slightly different to the Scratch, but we'll go into it in a little bit more detail now. So basic is used to just show this will control how the microbit appears. So you've got this panel on the right here. This replicates what you see on the LEDs of the microbit. So if you drag this over if you include this in your program, you can tap into a pattern. You can create a pattern of, say, a letter for your name or a heart, or maybe you just want a square. It depends on what your program is. You can design the LEDs to show whatever you want. Alternatively, you have a show icon code over here, which you can use just some pre-programmed icons like a heart. I think they have stars, squares, anything like that, which you can use within your code. You also have a show string here. You can make some letters appear on your microbit. The one thing you do have to remember with the show string is that it will not appear as one. So you'll not just see hello just written across just like that. It will appear one at a time. So you'll get the H first and it will slide across. You get the E, then the L, and the L, and then the O, which you have to remember when you are designing what you want to appear on the microbit. Next is the input. So as we discussed earlier, we've got the buttons A and B. So you can use the buttons to affect an action. So on button, whichever button is pressed, then this action will happen. You've also got, because of the microbit sensor, you can also do some very fun things like on shake. So if you shake the microbit, then you can have something happen. You've also got if you blow on the microbit, something can happen as well. Many different things you can do with the microbit sensors. So it's definitely a lot of fun just to experiment what the different things you can do with it. You can also press individual pins, but I think you will need, the pins are just these holes across here. You will need excess materials and cables and things for that. So if you do want to look into that, you have to do it again. But definitely with the buttons and the sensors, you can already have a lot of fun with the microbit. Next, you have music. So you can play a certain melody, you can code in the melody that you want, you can design your own, um, you can also just play a specific tone for specific duration of time. You have you can either create your own using these individual blocks over here. You can create your own melody, or you can use musical notes to create your own as well. And you've got rest as well. So yeah. Moving on to the LEDs. So you saw on the basic that there was a panel which you could click and design what icon that you wanted to appear on the microbit. But this is a little bit more advanced. So this treats the LED matrix as a graph, and you can plot X and Y coordinates. So X is the horizontal coordinates, and then Y is vertical. So you can choose which individual LEDs you want to light up and when. You've got unplot as well, so you can switch them on and off. Plot bar graph, you can do like several you can stack the LEDs, and yeah, you can have a lot of fun with lighting on and off the LEDs. If you don't want to do a specific shape, like a heart, square, if you don't want to do any of that, you can use the LED code blocks to light on and off the individual LEDs within the matrix. Um, One thing that most people don't really believe about the microbit is that it does indeed have a radio. Um, it's built into the PCB of the microbit, and you can link up several microbits and actually use it as a radio, which would be really fun to experiment with your friends. So you got radio, send numbers. You can transmit numbers, values like a name. Um, you can transmit numbers. You can send strings of information as well. So yeah, you've also got loops. So repeat, while, for loops. So repeat loops, it will repeat an action the number of times that you put into this white oval here. While loops will, so uh, uh, an action, whilst a statement, sorry, is false or true, so you can set it, then that action will be completed um, until it stops being true or false. You've got a for loop as well, so you can choose an index from 0 to any number that you set to, and until it gets to 4, it will keep doing that action. You've also got logic, so these are the conditional statements. You've got the if-then statements, so if something happens, then this action will be carried out. You've also got if-else, so if this action is true, then something will happen. Otherwise, if it's not true, then something else will happen, which you can put into the gaps here. You've also got variables here, so you can make your own variable. Variable is a storage unit, and you can store a set of values, name, a string. It can either be a value or a string that you can store in there. You can name it whatever you want, and then you can use it within your code. Also has math or maths. So you've got all of the different operations, plus, minus, times, divide, as well as the comparison, so less than, greater than, all of those different operations you've got. So that is just a basic run through of the 9 different code blocks that are in MakeCode and what they do. So once again, you've got basic, input, music, LED, radio, loops, logic, variables, and math. So last question, Which category of code blocks contain conditional, so the if-then statements? Is it the pink, the purple, the green, or the teal? If you remember the colors, hopefully you can remember that is teal. So thank you so much for listening to the MicroBit, the basics of the MicroBit. For the next session, we'll move on to some code that you can do in the MakeCode to do some little bit of interactive fun with the MicroBit. Hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.